Hey, hi everybody. Hope you're all well and doing okay and for a great day today and a phenomenal week ahead. We're talking about Deuteronomy chapter 30, and we've been talking about that incredible verse where God talks about the choices that He puts before us. And we've been referring to the idea that there are certain choices that are critical, but one thing we do know that the choices that we make us. It's one of the things we see with our teenagers. It's one of the things we experience in life. And make a bad choice and you pick up the tab or you pay the consequence for it. Make a good choice and the opposite may well be true. But the principle of choices is what we're talking about, and Moses puts to the children of Israel the option of a choice. He says you can choose evil, you can choose good. He says you can choose life, death, curse or blessing. It's your choice. And then he goes on to speak about a number of the blessings of making good choices. And so I want to look at those today because I find them quite inspiring, actually. The first thing he says is the first reason to make a choice for life and not death, and blessing and not cursing, is so that your children may live. That's what the passage says. Make a good choice so that your children may live. I don't think he's talking necessarily about living, life in the like death or life. I think he's talking about a quality of life that is so often determined by the pace that the parents set. So he's saying live your life well in light of the inheritance or in light of the legacy that you're going to be leaving your kids behind. I want to suggest to you today, as much as we strive hard to leave stuff for our kids, the greatest inheritance that we can leave from them is not money, but it is relationship. It's memories. It's the legacy that we leave behind of what type of people we were, how we interacted with other people. Legacy speaks of your values and the principles of your life. And when we're so busy trying to leave them another kind of inheritance that we hope is going to be a blessing to them, that very blessing could well become a curse. Because I've seen it all too often that when somebody dies, leaves an inheritance of money, it's not long before everybody, mother and his dog, is out there trying to get some money out of this thing. And it has caused so much ruction and so much pain in families. But the legacy that we can leave behind is a legacy of love, a legacy of deep commitment, a legacy of character, a legacy of beautiful experiences. Those are the things that your kids are going to need to remember you by. Your story of your life is going to be an awesome story by way of point of reference for theirs. Now in Psalm 23, we've spoken about this before. We see David having led a great life. It was full of ups and downs. He made more blunders than he probably would have liked to make, but he won great victories. But one thing, he didn't leave all that well. He wasn't the greatest father in the world. But in the context of the nation and the legacy that he left for them, he said this, he said, goodness and mercy have followed me all the days of my life. Now that's a good legacy to leave behind, that your kids and your family are able to say of you, goodness and mercy followed this person all the days of his or her life. Wherever you walk behind them, you picked up goodness and mercy. What the trail of stuff that they left behind was goodness and mercy. And when you do that and live that, that is the highest value that you could possibly leave your children. So today is a good day for you to decide what choice you're going to make. At the end of the book of Joshua, chapter 4, Joshua is making a similar speech to the children of Israel that Moses is making right now. It's just a few years later. And Joshua says the same thing. He says, you guys are faced with a choice. You can either choose to serve the gods of the Amalekites and the Midianites and the Hittites and the Hivites, or you can choose to serve the Lord. You guys need to choose. And then the people would probably have said, hey, Joshua, so who are you choosing to serve if that's the choice that's before us? And Joshua, I guess with a wry smile, he would have said, but as for me and my household, we're going to serve the Lord. People, that's a good choice. But Joshua said this profoundly correctly. He says, choose today who you will serve. Choose today. Don't waste time. Change your life if this choice of today is what you're going to make it. If you're going to choose to serve the Lord, there's no better time than right now to make that change. Maybe there's things in your life that need to go. Maybe there's habits in your life that need to die. Maybe there's things that values that you need to evaluate and maybe make some sort of changes so that you finish well and your kids are able to say, man, goodness and mercy followed that guy, or goodness and mercy followed that woman all the days of their life. It all comes down to a choice. Think about it. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.